have your attention while we point out some of the leadership issues of Michael O'Leary on this aircraft. Please put on your headphones. Further information on the successful situation and failure can be found on the podcast. Thank you for your attention. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight.
Michael O'Leary, the longtime Chief Executive Officer of Ryanair, is among Ireland's richest men, with an estimated fortune of £1.1 billion. After studying at Trinity College in Dublin, O'Leary started off as an accountant at KPMG, one of the big four accounting organizations in the world. He later worked as a financial advisor to the founder of Ryanair, Tony Ryan, before joining the budget airline in 1988 as Deputy Chief Executive. He has then become the CEO in 1994 and has held the role ever since. The Ryan family had set up Ryanair in 1985 with a share capital of just £1 and a staff of 25, operating daily from Waterford, Ireland to London Gatwick. Today, Ryanair is Europe's largest and most profitable carrier, carrying over 153 million guests per annum on more than 2,400 daily flights from 86 bases. The group connects over 200 destinations in 40 countries. O'Leary has one simple preoccupation: low fares. With its rock-bottom prices, Ryanair has drastically shaken up the airline industry. The current issues that Michael O'Leary is facing are the Boeing 737 MAX crash and Brexit. Due to the crashes of Boeing 737 MAX, the aircraft is grounded and several testing are required. It is believed that the launch of the aircraft has to be postponed till 2020, which will slow down Ryanair's expansion plans. On the other hand, Brexit, being the external economic and environmental factor, has a negative implication on the customer's spending behavior, leading to a decrease in demand, high oil fare, and an unstable market condition to the airline. Therefore, Michael O'Leary has informed his employees to prepare for 900 job cuts in 2020 as their excess number of operational employees. Although Ryanair is the third most used airline, the poor brand reputation reveals that 45% of passengers do not recommend this brand, and 17% would never consider it. Michael O'Leary might need to think about the impact of brand image towards long-term profitability, otherwise it will be easily taken over by competitors. For any organization or business, there should be a leader who leads and guides the organization towards the path of success. Let's talk about how the characteristics of the trade approach helped O'Leary to make a profit for Ryanair after becoming the CEO. The trade approach believes that people are bound to become leaders based on the specific traits that a person possesses, and these traits are also mentioned under the great man theories. In the early research, Kirkpatrick and Locke had differed the leader from non-leader based on 6 traits: drive, motivation, integrity, confidence, cognitive ability, and task knowledge. Subsequently, Stockdale, Mann, Lord, and co-authors had carried out similar research on traits with more than 1,400 findings, regardless of the personalities and leadership. Later in the research, it was stated that social intelligence was one of the key traits for effective leadership. Consequently, the concept was developed by Sakharov, Kemp, and Bader in 2004, where the determination of a leader are influenced by situational and trait factors. The trait approach emphasizes that having a leader with a certain set of traits is crucial for effective leadership. From the transformation of the trait approach, it's concluded that the major leadership traits are intelligence, self-confidence, determination, integrity, and sociability. As a leader, Michael O'Leary has 3 major traits such as intelligence, determination, and a high level of self-confidence. The O'Leary's traits became a driving force to the Ryanair approach. When Ryanair was still under the management of Tony Ryan, it entered the market through providing conventional airline. However, aviation strategy had stated that Ryanair had failed to compete with British Airways, followed by ineffectiveness in the stock market flotation, which made a loss of £20 million. In 1994, when Michael O'Leary became the CEO of Ryanair, he pursued a low-cost carrier into the organizational strategies after reviewing the success of Southwest Airlines of adapting the standardization in reducing maintenance costs and the profit they had made. His intelligence of the markets and accounting, with his strong confidence towards his own ability, had put forward a completely different strategy. Moreover, the determination encouraged him to persevere in the face of obstacles as well as showing dominance by giving direction for the followers. Hence, Telegraph mentioned O'Leary's success in generating £200,000 in the first year. He managed to improve the company's performance whilst maintaining Ryanair in the competitive market along with EasyJet. This also resulted in an increasing market share and share price. In this case, O'Leary was able to gain trust from his followers, who were defined as the shareholders of Ryanair since he acquired their best interests. As reported by the Quads, the shareholders showed their willingness to follow O'Leary's once again in 2017, when he was re-elected to the board with the support of 99.3% at the company's annual meeting. However, the publicity image perceived from Michael O'Leary is always caustic and not treating his employees well. Based on the research on trade approach, it shows that Michael O'Leary is lack of sociability, meaning the tendency to seek out pleasant social relationships. Hence, this could damage the brand image as well as employee satisfaction. The trade approach acts as a guideline on what traits should leaders have. It allowed leaders or team members to assess the strengths and weaknesses and find ways to improve leadership effectiveness. Conversely, the approach contains many uncertainties and is not comprehensive enough to take different situations into account. In reality, people who possess certain traits that make them a leader in one area may not be an effective leader in another area. Autocratic leadership style is another leadership that demonstrated in O'Leary's management style. This leadership idea stems from experimental studies by Lewin, Lippitt, and White. With many research covered on this field, the autocratic leadership style centralized on decision-making. According to Laub, autocratic originates from Greek. Kotos means self, while karatos means power. In this case, autocratic implies the leadership style on leaders who considering self-interest over the followers and controlling them by using power or authorities to serve his or her needs. Treating followers as servants, a resource to exploit, Durin and co-authors claim that this type of leaders do not take followers' feedbacks or ideas into concern and make all the important decisions by themselves. Ryanair pilots in the UK are seeking for better policies and compensation, such as better pensions, license insurance, maternity benefits, allowance, harmonized pay in a fair, transparent and consistent structure which could be readily found in other airline companies. However, Michael O'Leary had refused to hold conciliation conferences to resolve the dispute on pay and working conditions. This shows his autocratic characteristics, which he exploited followers' well-being and comfort. Therefore, pilots, the followers, decided to strike between 18th and 29th of September in 2019 based on a news report by Tokum. The attitude of Michael O'Leary towards strike was, if there are people who just want to have strikes for the sake of having strikes, then they can have strikes and they will find themselves with jobs getting moved and aircraft getting moved. Even though certain numbers of pilots strike in this situation, 96% of Ryanair flights still manage to depart on time, reported by Topham. O'Leary achieved this by using two ways. First, threatening pilots that benefits would be removed if they take part in a strike. Second, bringing in contractors and flying pilots from other European countries in an effort to maintain its services during strike. This reflects that O'Leary has a typical autocratic leadership style, controlling and using his followers by power for own purposes. Once the followers have been used up, they are likely to be exploited by the leader, which supported by Laub. According to Harms, Durin, and their co-authors, Autocratic leadership might be efficient in quick decisions required situations or inefficient time to communicate to make a decision. In this situation, Michael O'Leary was able to arrange and manage the flights departed on time by a quick decision, moving the pilots from other European countries. This kept customers' dissatisfaction at a lower level as possible in the short term. Yet, could the autocratic leadership style really make a positive impact in the long-term success of the airline? Previous research has proved that autocratic leadership usually associates with low-level employee satisfaction and morale, therefore generates a high level of stress. Michael O'Leary did not create a working environment where employees feel comfortable to work in, which results in low job satisfaction and strike. When employees are dissatisfied with the job, they will be less likely to produce a high-quality customer service. Even Ryanair has limited on service. This had negatively influenced the overall customer satisfaction, which pointed out by Hill, Roche, and Allen. In the long term, it will damage the company profit and brand image, affecting the shareholders' confidence towards Michael O'Leary. Michael O'Leary demonstrated intelligence, determination, and self-confidence when he changed Ryanair to a budget airline and maintained in a competitive market. The trait allowed him to manage the organization and gain trust from shareholders. Besides, his autocratic leadership style enables him to make quick response in emergency situations, yet leads to a low employee satisfaction and possibly results in low customer satisfaction in the long run. The long-term success of Ryanair remained questioned.
On behalf of Ryanair and the entire crew, I would like to thank you for joining us on this podcast, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.